So welcome to the Soft Love Witch Coven. And as always, I have an intention for this video and all of my videos that they will automatically transform you. They will go deep into your subconscious mind and just help you to transform for your highest and best good, whatever that means to you. And that'll automatically happen just by you listening or watching the video. In that way, it's kind of like a hypnosis or a spell, a really good spell. Essentially, all you have to do is watch or listen, and the subconscious mind will absorb it and make the changes for you. How easy is that? You've got the easy job. Today, I want to talk about cutting out the middleman when it comes to not just manifestation, but life and feelings and your inner world, and what the quickest route to getting what you want and being what you want. And I'm going to discuss how you can give yourself every single thing that you want and need. So I'm a huge believer in giving yourself what you want and what you need in the first instance, because I feel like it can just really cut out the middleman. Now, often when we are desiring, wanting something, it's not really the thing or the experience that we want so much as we want a certain way of feeling, of being, of solidifying our identity, right? And yeah, we still might want the things on top of that, and it's totally okay to have the things. Do not get me wrong. I'm all about the things, I'm all about getting the things, and I'm all about getting your desires. I'm totally on board with that. But there is that undercurrent, right? And sometimes when our manifestations appear to be taking a while to show up in the 3D, or kind of look a little different in the 3D to how we ideally want them, there is an opportunity to include a missing piece in that. And that missing piece could be cutting out the middleman and giving yourself what you want. What I mean by that is, the best way I can describe it is by using an example. And let's use the example of money. Such a good one, right? So I'm going to personalize it because I find that that often helps people to learn when I personalize an example. Let's say I want more money, right? I do. That's true for me, and possibly true for a lot of people. So my desire is to have more money, and yeah, that'd be good, right? I welcome all the money I welcome it. But for me, the undercurrent of that, or the main driver of why I want the money, is I want the freedom. I want the freedom of being able to get up in the morning and do what I want, experience what I want, have what I want, have things, but also experiences. And that all kind of comes from a feeling of freedom, just the freedom of choice, the freedom of choosing the brands that I want, the healthcare that I want. You know, I'm using those as examples, but really I am completely satisfied in that area and have what I want. But I'm sure there are some people that can feel that way, right? You might be going to see the bulk billing general practitioner when really you want to see the private expensive specialist for a certain thing, right? And with money comes that freedom of choice. In addition to the freedom and the freedom of choice, I also want ease, right? I really love ease. And I'm believing that with money comes ease. So I can have ease of someone to clean my house every day. I can have the ease of someone to prepare all my food. That is really easeful to me and leaves me to have more of that freedom, so I can make videos, so that I can write my books, so that I can do my performing and my dancing, right? And do more of the things that I love. That to me is true freedom. So why wouldn't I want money? And there's nothing wrong with wanting money, don't get me wrong. I'm all for it. I love when people desire money and are working on themselves to bring more money into life. But what I mean by giving it to myself is, I don't mean going and robbing a bank and giving myself the money. Can you even rob banks these days? Like, if everything's digital? I don't know. Anyway, that's a question for another time and another channel. What I mean by giving it to myself is give myself the freedom and the ease that I desire. And to do that is just a matter of stepping into the feeling and choosing thoughts that are more in alignment with ease, choosing thoughts that are more in alignment with freedom. I might be at a stage where my thoughts are only a little bit more in alignment with freedom than not. You know, it might be a gradual process. It doesn't matter, right? I'm making my way there. So in any given moment, I can give myself the feeling of freedom and the feeling of ease. And look, I might choose actions that go along with that, but let me say, in the manifestation world, particularly law of assumption, actions are the lowest priority, right? Even inspired action will happen naturally, right? We don't have to think too much about it, but actions are really the lowest priority. The highest priority in law of assumption community and thinking is our internal world. I'm really going to choose to sink into that feeling of freedom and to me, that looks like, as soon as I make the decision, okay, I'm going to give myself the feeling of freedom today or right in this moment. You know what? Let's take it moment by moment, because that reduces the pressure on ourselves. And you know, in the self-love witch coven, I'm all about softness, soft love, you know, ease, compassion, kindness. So let's go softly, and let's just go pick moment by moment. And in this moment, I'm going to choose to feel freedom, right? And that freedom just feels like, I'm just going to describe it for you, and it might be totally different for you. You might be seeking a totally different undercurrent, and that's fine. I'm just going to explain my experience so you can get an idea of kind of what I mean, and then you can apply it to yourself or not. Who cares, right? Everything's all good. Everything's working out. So that was my ankle cracking, if you couldn't hear it. Dancer life. So yeah, for me, the feeling of freedom feels like relief, relaxation, lots of choices, movement. And what I notice when I'm choosing to feel those things is what it feels like in my body. It feels light, it feels unburdened, it feels there's a tinge of excitement, there's a tinge of anticipation, and you know, who knows what kind of could happen. And the same when I choose to feel the ease. It's like, a real unburdening, a real lifting off the shoulders and releasing, and right. And just as I'm talking about it, I can feel, I'm really tuning into my body, and I'm noticing in my lower back, it feels softer, more relaxed and released. And again, you'll have your own experience. I'm just talking about mine. And so the aim is to spend as many moments as we can in these feelings, so that you can give yourself these things. And that is, there is a number of things happening here. One is you are teaching yourself that you are at the source of everything so that you stop scrambling externally to try and get all these things. You know that feeling of like, and it's human to do it. We all do it, and we all do it a lot, I'm going to say, is scrambling to get things from the outside to feel what we want to feel on the inside. Scrambling to get that text, you know, that hit of like, yes, I'm valued, I'm valuable, I'm seen. If I get that text, or scrambling to get the money, like how can I get more money so that I can feel this sense of relief, or whatever it is for you, right? And I found after a while, the scrambling, the pulling, the trying to get from external is so frustrating. Not only is it frustrating, it's really exhausting. And to me, I've discovered it's misplaced energy, right? And I'd actually invite you right now in this moment, or as soon as you turn the video off, to really just notice how much of your time and your energy goes into getting, scrambling, reaching for these things in the external. And when I did that and really took stock of what was going on, I was mind blown. I'm like, oh, how the fuck can I exist when all that energy and effort is just going out, 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 out? And kind of, it's like, yeah, it pays off to a certain degree, right? But mostly I'm spinning my wheels in the mud, and it actually makes me tired thinking about it, to be honest. So what if there's a way to stop the spinning the wheels in mud, all the energy going out, that you can get that end result of the end feeling? Cut out the middleman, cut out the spinning the wheels, cut out the external focus, the grabbing externally, and bring it back in and give it to yourself. It's so much more rewarding. It is so much less energy expending. It's less time consuming. You don't have to wait for anything else or anyone else. You can just give it to yourself immediately, right? And this is a really good application for things like SP, right? Where we are relying on another person for the things that we want an SP for, right? Love, connection, attention, attraction, whatever it is, right? It doesn't matter. And please don't misunderstand me. There is nothing wrong with wanting those things, getting those things. Absolutely nothing wrong. I encourage it. Please want more of it, to be honest. But when we are relying on an external source, we can go back to that spinning the wheels in mud, right? Why not just get it here? Because it's instant, immediate, effortless, always there. It's on tap. We don't have to worry about getting it from another. And then when we're giving that stuff to ourselves, we can get it from the external as well, right? I'm never saying don't get it from the external. I'm never saying don't get the SP. I'm never saying don't get your desires. I'm saying let's start here, and then everything else can happen on top of that. Let me give myself the connection that I'm yearning for from SP. You know, that juiciness of being connected to another human being, and the feeling of feeling home with someone, and how they just see you. They really fucking see you and really get you, right? We all know that. Even if you haven't been in that kind of connection before, you can imagine that. And there's a part of you that knows that exists, and that's why you want the SP, right? Or that could be one of the reasons why you want SP, or the lover, or the relationship, or the friends, or the pet, whatever. So rather than waiting and relying on the external person, I'm just going to give those feelings to myself and the connection and noticing myself. And that could present in a number of ways. It could just be deciding to feel that within and then noticing it within my body. What does it feel like? Oh, it feels really juicy. Oh, it feels tingly in the tummy. It feels really exciting. Oh, you know, I'm getting the chills. I really fucking see myself. And that looks like self-talk a lot of the time to me, internal dialogue, like, darling, wow, I love the way you think about that. You know, sweetheart, you're so, and yes, I talk to myself like, darling, sweetheart, of course, why wouldn't I? You know, and I encourage you to do the same. No matter your gender, no matter how you talk to people, I really encourage you to bring that softness in, that soft love of like, yes, darling, I see you. You don't even have to do this in the mirror, although it can be super effective if you do. It can just be a matter of stopping. Maybe when you go to the toilet and you take a moment and you're like, oh, sweetie, I just noticed how good you are at work. And I love the way that you think, love the way that you talk. I really noticed the way you were thinking about things yesterday is really fascinating. You're a fascinating person, right? Things like that. Give all that to yourself because you can get it instantly. It's on tap, right? I just get so excited about how the infinite pool of this resource is available instantly. And then don't let the ego mind fool you into thinking, well, what would I need the external for? Wouldn't I just be giving up my desire? And the ego mind freaks out a little bit when it thinks it has to give up a desire, right? Have you noticed? Don't be fooled. That is the ego, a bit of the ego lie, because really what you're likely to find, and in my experience, you're giving yourself this layer and then the external comes in, it makes it even more juicy. And you're not anxious that it's going to go away and you're going to be fucked. You're going to be left without this shit because you've got it there running anyway. And then the external comes in and it's like, fuck yeah, let's double down on this shit. Awesome. And then I guarantee you'll notice, fuck, I feel fucking amazing. I'm going to give that out, right? Even without the external coming in. You give yourself enough of whatever it is you're seeking, like connection, or if it's the money thing, it's the ease, or maybe it's love, maybe it's support, right? Whatever it is for you, it cannot help but to leak out of you, ooze out of you when you're giving it to yourself so much, right? And then you'll start giving it to others just naturally, and it won't even be a big deal. It's not even exhausting. It just kind of can't be helped. And that is going to start a chain reaction. And that's really exciting. If you haven't experienced that kind of chain reaction before, which you probably have because it would happen in some area of your life. And like maybe it's, maybe you really use manners with the way you talk, right? And you give those manners to yourself, and then you start to treat other people with manners, and then they'll start to feel special because you use manners with them, and they'll mirror it back, and so on and so on and so on, right? You've had that experience, I'm positive. But how fucking juicy is it? How good is it, right? These to me are the pockets of life and the pockets of goodness with being a human. So once again, I don't say challenge, I say here's the opportunity. Your opportunity is to start to give yourself everything that you want. Cut out the middleman, right? Give it to yourself. Honestly, what the fuck are you waiting for? And I say it like that because I've said it to myself before. I've realized, why the frick am I waiting for blah, blah, blah? when I can just give it to myself right now? Why am I waiting for me to sell my novel for $6 million at a traditional publishing house so I can then get the things that I want? Right? Like, really, why am I waiting? Give it to myself now. And then that can come. And if I give that freedom, recognition, whatever it is I'm wanting from that publishing house, the money from them traditionally publishing my novel, right? Then it's instant. I don't have to wait for it to pass through the publishing hands. And yes, I do believe in quantum jumping, and things can change overnight or within an hour, right? And I can have a bank account filled with $6 million right this second. Yes, I do believe that. But by the same token, I'm just going to start where I'm at and give myself all the things that I want. Anyway, enough about me. The opportunity is for you to give yourself all those things. Now, you know, in the soft love coven, we give ourselves softness, we give ourselves love, and we're kindness and soft love. And so I would encourage you to start with one area of life, one topic. Maybe that's money, like in the example I gave. Maybe that's romantic relationship, that you desire the connection. Just start with one. Let's not freaking overwhelm ourselves and go the whole hog and make a list. And just start with one feeling. I'm not expecting you to suddenly turn around and give yourself every little fucking thing that you're desiring. Just start with one. Start with, you know, the ease or whatever. And if you're not quite sure where to start, which you are, I can feel that you are, then why don't you borrow the feeling from me of ease and start with ease as an experiment, as an opportunity to see what happens. Now, if you have seen my video on the Spotlight of Awareness, highly encourage you to watch the Spotlight of Awareness. It's kind of a fundamental for manifesting, and most of the things I talk about, you will understand the concept that whatever we put our awareness on grows, right? So if I'm putting my awareness on ease and I keep coming back to that feeling of ease, where's my spotlight? My spotlight of awareness is on ease. So what's going to happen if my spotlight of awareness is on ease? It's going to fucking grow. It's going to expand. It's going to double down. And so I'm going to be in a world of ease, aren't I? And if you've also seen my other video on we don't manifest what we want, we manifest what we are being, then we have no choice but to manifest ease, right? And that might very well show up as a lot of money, or a lot of resources, or a lot of help, or just a really easy, beautiful life, which sounds amazing to me. So there's your opportunity. Start with one feeling, keep bringing your spotlight of awareness back to that. Give it to yourself first and foremost. Just keep, like, you are your own supplier, right? Think of all these things that you want, that you believe your desires are going to give you as your drug, and you are the drug dealer, right? You are your own supplier. Your first taste is free, and guess what? Every taste after that is free. So it's like you've got this real special relationship. I'm acting like I know what I'm talking about. Never done drugs. So like, you're building this relationship with your supplier who gives you free drugs, and it's instant. You don't even have to text them to come around, because they're already in your house and they're giving you the supply straight away. That was a pretty dodgy analogy, but you know, I'm a storyteller and I love to pop these things in. Anyway, so there's your opportunity. As always, I'm super enthusiastic to hear how you went with this opportunity and this experiment, please, I'm begging you almost, let me know in the comments your experience of giving it to yourself and what happens when you continuously give it to yourself. Thank you for joining me in the Soft Love Witch Coven. I loved having you here. Bye for now.